I'm Josh Rivaldinger, and I'm streaming to you from Los Angeles, where weed dispensaries are considered an essential business. So as society continues to march towards the brink, at least we can all be real chill about it, dude. Just how close are we to the apocalypse? Yesterday, I received a care package that included this root beer, and it seemed like such a wonderful treat, I started crying. Thanks, Megan. Oh, that's good. Since our last episode, several more states have joined California in imposing unprecedented restrictions on their residents. So, to all of our viewers, but especially those in Illinois, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Connecticut, Louisiana, and Missouri, welcome to the lockdown. Starting off with the news that you need to know. Medical professionals are running out of the disposable masks they use to keep themselves safe and prevent cross-contamination. In some hospitals, staff are being asked to save their masks in brown paper bags for later reuse. At the very least, it foils the jerk who's always stealing food from the break room. Ooh, what am I going to have for lunch today? Coronavirus again! Oh wait, no, this one's flu. But patriotic Americans are coming to the rescue. Volunteers around the country are using their crafting skills and supplies to create homemade masks that they donate to hospitals. While they're not nearly as effective as the proper safety equipment, your nurse is going to look extra badass wearing a mask made of an old Black Sabbath t-shirt. And we continue to have massive shortages of coronavirus tests. Health officials in California and New York have stopped pretending that they'll be able to broadly test everyone they suspect of having the virus. At this point, if you have the symptoms, they kind of just assume you're infected. Similar to when I had a stomachache after eating too much pizza and diagnosed myself as gluten intolerant. And what about the rest of the country? Well, let's look at the Hawkeye State, for example. Over the weekend, Iowa was able to triple the amount of coronavirus tests they're able to administer each day. Now they're up to 168. So if we wanted to test just half 3.3 million residents of Iowa, it would take us, almost 22 years. So, what can the federal government do about it? Well, I'm glad I asked. On Wednesday, President Trump signed the Defense Production Act, which allows him to mandate that companies produce the needed supplies. Sounds great, right? Except he hasn't actually used it. This is the man who has aggressively expanded executive power ever since taking office. And now that people want him to use that power, he won't. He's like a kid who's always trying to drive his dad's Porsche, but when he finally gets the keys, he chickens out. Don't be such a buzzkill, Cameron. It's going to be fine. And in more news from Washington, not a week after Ron Paul dismissed the necessity of a strong government response to COVID-19, his son, Rand Paul, became the first senator to test positive for the disease. While we hope Senator Paul is safe and recovers quickly, it's great news for those of you at home playing dramatic irony bingo, cautionary tale bingo, or old men whose lack of faith in science is going to get us all killed bingo. I hope we don't win. In uncertain times, I think we can gain comfort and perspective by speaking with our elders. So today, we're talking to the oldest person I could find who knows how to video chat. It's our senior citizen correspondent, Ricky Marsh.
Thanks for having me on, Josh.
Thank you for joining us, Ricky. How are things with you?
I'm in Chicago, Illinois, where everything is shut down. So there's no more shootings.
Well, I guess it's good to find a silver lining.
And it's impossible to get your drug dealer to deliver.
Sorry to hear that. I know how important that is for you. Ricky, right now, a lot of people are dealing with loneliness. They're isolated in their apartments and they're craving human connection. Do you have any advice to give
Let
these
me
people?
say this about that. Don't touch each other. Touch yourself. That's what you need to be doing. If you find that you need to make out with somebody, there you go. Just like that.
That's a very insightful advice.
There'll be many more of these hints as we travel along together.
Lastly, Ricky, I know you follow the news very closely. Is there anything you want to say about the president's response to this crisis?
Dr. Anthony Fauci, I believe in you.
He's not actually the president, although he is acting very presidential lately, so I like where your head's at. Well, thank you very much, Ricky. We'll check in with you very soon.
Peace.
You've heard of Typhoid Mary, but now we have to worry about COVID Kyle and his buddies coming home from spring break. As they return home and put their families at serious risk of death, it's important to know what the symptoms are so that you can take care of yourself. There are preliminary reports that one of the first symptoms of COVID-19 is loss of sense of taste or smell. So, if you suddenly no longer notice your roommate's stinky socks, don't assume that he finally did the laundry. Other symptoms are cough, fever, and shortness of breath, but if your only symptom is that you're having a little trouble breathing, it's probably just your nightly panic attack. I know I'm not the only one who has those. I hope I'm not scaring you with all this doom and gloom, because the good news is that there's something you can do to be part of the solution, and it's really easy. I am not exaggerating when I tell you that binge-watching entire seasons of beloved sitcom Frasier is now your patriotic duty. Pour one out for the homie John Mahoney. Everyone needs to realize that social distancing is a moral imperative at this point. If you spend time with friends, it's like asking them, hey, you want to come over and maybe kill my grocer? The maybe doesn't make that sentence any better. Not social distancing is like playing Russian roulette and pointing the gun at other people. If you play long enough, you're gonna kill someone. And lastly, celebrity news. Over the weekend, the producer of the classic family film Air Bud has contracted coronavirus. That's right. Harvey Weinstein has been moved into isolation on Rikers Island. If I was a big shot Hollywood producer myself, I would mark that scene as the moment where the audience began to sympathize with the virus. That's our show for tonight. Thank you. We will be back on Thursday. And for the love of America, please stay home.